Okay, Tuesday morning in the kingdom, and the snows are finally coming, like 24 hours late from what they forecasted, just like a marriage. All right, so we woke up to -7 Celsius, but feels like -13. That's not a good number. It's an unlucky number. I don't have 13 chapters in my books. All right, on the yo-yo scale, +19 Fahrenheit, but feels like +8. Unreal. But today we're going to have fun, yes. And also, too, we were in a high pressure system yesterday and last night, so the wood stoves burned normally. You could turn them right down, and they were putting out nice heat. And it was the same wood we were burning all along. And this morning I woke up to the shop and the hoe shack being warm. Plus, there was still wood in the stove because it, how'd you say, did a slow burn. Yes, it was a slow burn. Yes, so it worked out very well. I better stay focused. I gotta quit thinking naughty thoughts. Yes, boobies. All right, so scroll this way. There's no sun, no nothing. It's a cold, dreary day. Yes, and it's supposed to get windy, and we're supposed to have lots of snow. Heavy snowfall warning plus the wind, so that will equal a blizzard. Yes, a blizzard, like they get in Saskatchewan. Yes, Saskatchewan. But we're ready. Oh, I went too far, too fast, just like in the bedroom. All right, so we have Thor the Plow Truck plugged in because we got a little project to do this afternoon. No, we're not going to plow the windrows from the Department of Holidays. Nope, nope. I paid taxes for them to plow me in. They never did it for, how would you say, 26 years, and then all of a sudden they decide to plow me in? Well, screw them. The ambulance can get stuck in the snowbank, and then they'll issue the medevac helicopter to get the senior guy out. Yes, they'll have to get the helicopter in to get me. Knowing my luck, it'll be Dick flying the helicopter in the off season. Yes. Oh well, scroll a bit more. So we're gonna have Thor the Plow Truck. Is plugged in. I don't just think we can see the cord. It's yellow. It's gray over there. It's on the ground. All right. So we'll have him out this afternoon. The staff is gonna remain sober. And we're going to have a little fun. Yes, we're going to have a little fun. We're going to plow some rocks. Yes, rocks and more rocks. But we're ready for the snow. We got wood everywhere, everywhere. So we're good to go. All right, we better go because here comes the boss.
Tuesday morning in WHO-ville. It's just after 9 a.m. and as you can see, it is snowing out there. We finally are getting our little snowstorm. It's supposed to be like this for the next couple days, but that could change. This is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's -5 degrees Celsius, which is 23 degrees Fahrenheit. We even had the feels like on the bottom. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs out, make breakfast. Then at 1 p.m. I'll go over to the kingdom and see what my dad's up to. 9:30 and I'm down in the basement. I just got a fire going. I like to have small little fires. I don't need extra big ones since the house isn't that big, and I'm just trying to keep my hydro down with my baseboard heaters. Now it's time to head upstairs and check out the weather. I think it's still snowing out there. Almost 10 a.m. and it is starting to get nasty out here. Look at that. The wind is picking up and it's pretty snowy out here. Now let's head inside, let the dogs out quickly, and then wait for 1 p.m.
Okay, almost 11 o'clock in the kingdom, and we got some work done. Yes, the boss will be surprised. But look at the temperature in here. It's warm. Yes, it's plus 24, 25 degrees. Unreal. But the thing is the wood stoves are acting normal. We have this one here. The damper's turned down or off on the chimney, and the vent is closed there. The door is closed, and it's respectable heat. Like, we're not cooking. We got some control. All right. So over here, I don't know if we can back up some more. All right. So we had the staff part to quad offset that way because we're working on this here. That's the joys of these containers. Everybody thinks containers are great. I hate them. Oh, man, I hate them. All right, so by the time you put a 2x4s on the walls to make it, how would you say, woodable or whatever, and then you insulate it, it gets pretty freaking small. And then these doors on the back just ice up, so you can imagine if you don't use the doors, how much condensation and everything like that is against the wood. So in other words, it's just going to rot. All right, so back to the regular schedule programming. We got the quad axle out, but we've been oiling it. Yes, oiling it. So it came out rather well. We've marked everything with the paint marker. Can you see that? And that's an arrow saying that's the front. And we marked the the roll pin hole so we know which way it goes, and we've marked the roll pin. So there's the new U-joints from Sir Rodney, and plus the fact you have to buy the metric oil filter wrench for these things here. All right, as the oil filter, we took it off. I'm going to scrunch down here on the knees. Did you hear him creaking? All right, so we have the oil filter off. We're just draining it with oil or antifreeze getting in the motor. We know this motor's probably toast. So when the fuel pump went and filled up the cylinder, it hydraulic, so something must have got pushed the other way, or the head gasket. We haven't Google searched it yet because we know it's going to be expensive. So we're just going to drain the oil, put some 1540 trucker's oil in it. Yes, call it good, and see how much or how long it takes for the oil to get contaminated. We don't know. But the main thing is just don't give up, don't spend money on it. And we took the top off here to see that the antifreeze isn't at the top. Well, we know it's going somewhere. All right, so this project's going very well for being, how would you say, we're still sober. Yes, because I got to drive Thor the Plow Truck this afternoon, so I have to stay sober. Okay, just a quick video here on how we're doing it. Yes, we're doing it old school. We've marked everything. And yes, the YouTube subscribers, Kingdom followers have pointed out that this is a twist dry shaft. Yes, it's supposed to be, how would you say, perfectly. Like this U-joint should line up over there, but it's kind of offset. Oh, hand and eye coordination lesson estimate. So this is how we do it. So you take your collections. A collection of your sockets. Yes, we don't have a full set. And also too, the older you get, you can't read the little writing on the side. So we go by size and shape. So grabbing this one with the little bumpies, we know it's a 16 millimeter, which is 5/8. Yes. So we do it by, how would you say, size and feel, just like in the bedroom. So on this one here, we're using a 16 millimeter, that's 5/8, and a 1 16 to accept the cup. But we've also done this before on the other quad, because in theory, if you're a professional YouTube mechanic, you would be laying out your U-joints here, spreading them out, using your vernier caliper to measure to make sure you have the right parts sent for the project, because but you can't go by the part number. You got to do a visual measurement to make sure. But we already did it with the other quad, so this should go very easily. This job here should only take 1 beer. Yes, 1 beer. If you take 2 beers, that means you're, how would you say, lollygagging, as the boss would say. Okay, putting the U-joint back together, and we use lots of never sees, brake clean, hand files, buffing tools, everything. Everything has to be clean. We also hand file down in here where that little snap ring has to be smooth against, because we don't want any burrs. Also too, with these small little U-joints, they actually go together when you're pushing them through. So what we're doing here, pushing in, and then we take the brass, and hit it, okay? You got to push it back, because you got to make sure those keepers are down in. All right. And for demonstration purposes, we put the cups into the U-joint, and you make sure the cross piece is in both U-joints or cups before we compress in, because we don't press it in and then try and get this one in, because you can actually nick one of the needle bearings. See those, they're protruding, so it's very easy. So you make sure the cups are in, and this slides back and forth in the cups. Okay, I can't film that because I'm using both hands and everything like that, and the staff doesn't show up till after lunch, but I should have this back together, and then I can have a victory drink at lunch. Okay, lunchtime in the kingdom, and we got this one together. Note all the never seeds. We got the snap rings into place, and they went snap, and I touched them with the little chisel there to make sure they're in place. And also too, when you're doing assembly, we go back and forth in every which way, because if you're screwing up, it won't, how would you say, flex. So you got to back up and figure out what you're doing wrong. And the final thing is, make sure it takes grease. So that's why that's here. You can line up the, I would say, grease nipple to be in between. Make sure it fits. Yes, because if you can't get it to take grease on the workbench, it is not going to take grease when it's on the machine. All right, let's go burn some lunch in the microwave.
12 p.m. and I'm just getting ready to make lunch. It is still snowing, as you can see. I'll zoom off into the distance here. You can't really see it on camera. It was a blizzard a few minutes ago, and then it started to lighten up. Now it's time to head inside, see if the dogs want to go out, make lunch, then do the weather at 1 and head to the kingdom. Almost 1 p.m. and I'm just finishing up lunch. I got the quad out. This is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's -4 degrees Celsius, which is 24 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. It is extra windy out there, but it's not snowing at the moment. So let's head inside, let the dogs back in, and head over to the kingdom. Just after 1 p.m. and I made it to the kingdom. Looks like we are getting Thor out to go plow some rocks and move a few things around. Not sure if you can see behind me, but Jack is hiding in those trees up there. So let's head down to the shop and see what my dad's doing now. Down at the new shop now, and my dad is getting all the snow off of Thor. Then we'll get it started, check the oil and a few other things. This is a 250 Cummins motor. It just sips that fuel, so it's pretty good. We don't have to fill it up too often. Once that's done, we'll go in behind the new shop where the ramp is, and there's a bunch of big rocks that we have to move out of the way so we can get our cat train through there.
It's good. .30, we got Thor started, no problem. Now we'll head down in behind the yard and push some rocks away. That way we can use that little area for our cat train. My dad just took me down there on the quad, so I have an idea on what rocks need to be moved. Hopefully they're not too frozen, because if they are, we'll just take the big cat down and push them away. Got the blade and the wing up. Now my dad will disconnect the safety chain so we can actually use the blade and the wing. Last thing we want is to be driving around and have the wing fall down or the blade without the safety chain on. As you can see, my dad welded it on as well. It wasn't originally there. Now he'll walk over to the wing and take that safety chain off as well. Got the chains off, no problem. Now my dad dropped the front blade down, that way it would center it. Now we'll head down in behind the new shop and the ramp and push some rocks. Down in behind the new shop and the ramp, those big trees we got here with the trailer are just off to my right. As you can see, there are a bunch of big rocks down here that are in our way from when we use the cat train in the winter, so my dad's going to attempt to push them over with Thor.
Got the walkie-talkies out since my dad cannot see on the right side of Thor where the wing is, so I'll have to guide him and tell him where all the rocks are and if he misses one or not. But the goal is to get all these big rocks pushed as far over to the hydro pole, or at least out of our way, as possible. 2 p.m. It looks like there's a bunch of frozen rocks here, which we knew was going to happen. So my dad's going to go get the mini and see if we can break some of these rocks free. Because as you can see, there's one right here as well. That's the one that my dad was spinning out on a while ago. He also took my quad up, so I'm going to sit in Thor and warm up while he brings the mini down. And of course, it is snowing again. It stopped for about 5 seconds, and now it's snowing some more. As I'm climbing into Thor, the seat's not bolted down, so hopefully I don't fall out while I'm sitting in there. Just after 2 p.m. my dad was able to get the mini down here no problem. Now he'll go around and start breaking free all the rocks here as much as he can. That way Thor has no problem. Got the rocks flipped. Now I'm gonna line my dad up so he's right about here with the wing. That way he can push all these over, and then we'll keep trying a couple more times. We might have to push over a few more with the mini. Did a couple passes with Thor. Now my dad's gonna flip these big rocks over since they're in a dip and Thor can't quite get them. Then I think we'll do a few more passes and we're pretty much good. We just have to have enough room that we can come down and loop around and go out the back gate. So we should have enough room. All else fails, we'll come down here again and move some more rocks. Almost 2:30 and my dad got most of the rocks moved away. There's bedrock all over the place here, so Thor wouldn't have been able to push it very far, but over there is good enough for now. We at least have enough room that we can bring the cats and the sleighs down. My dad's just gonna push this stuff over a little bit as well, just to be safe. Now my dad is back in Thor and he's gonna back up a little bit and then come into where these rocks are right here and push down all this grass to make it nice and flat, and then we'll head back up to the kingdom and cut some firewood like we do every day. Just after 2:30, we're officially done back here. My dad will take Thor up and I'll take the Mini back up since he kind of took my quad. I'm stuck taking the slow Mini up. Then I'll get a video of my dad parking Thor and we'll start cutting firewood. Almost 3 p.m. and now I'll fill up the tubs. My dad's carrying in some root balls so he can burn them in the wood stove. I'll fill up the tubs while he fills up the one wheelbarrow for the hose shack. We still have lots of wood, so let's get picking. While I'm filling up the tubs, my dad's over here getting the wheelbarrow filled up for the hose shack. Looks like he's trying to get the saw working. Maybe if he plugged it in, it would turn on. 3 p.m. we just got all the firewood cut and put away, and as you can see, it's getting pretty nasty out here, so I'm officially done in the kingdom. And I'll head inside and grab my dog treats and go back into WHO-ville and do the weather at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. and this is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's -4 degrees Celsius, which is 24 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. As you can see, it is pretty nasty out there right now. The snow is picking up and so is the wind. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs out, make supper, and end my day.
Okay, just a little bit after 5. Yeah, 20 after 5. So by the time I do this video, I can clock out at 5:30. Yes, but we came back into the hose shack and put the dry shaft on. I don't know if we can see it down there, Les Nesman. Yes, the dry shaft, not the axle. Yes, the dry shaft. That way, sober me remembers how it went in. So tomorrow, when I have a hangover and a headache, I'm not fighting with it. So the wood stove's going pretty good. We're very pleased with the system now. Yes, we went into a different air system. The wood stoves were... We're working controllable. Yes, not like an ex-wife. Uncontrollable. Okay, it's nasty out there. And I still have to walk the dogs in this. Yes, we had fun taking Thor out and finding out that those rocks were frozen. I don't know why they were frozen. It only snowed and melted and rained and everything on it. But the thing is, we had Thor out running. The air system was up and going and everything like that. So we proved it's not frozen. You want to do a couple of runs while it's still warm out. But the thing is we had fun. But we weren't going to go down over there and plow out that snowbank. Nope, the ambulance can come and get me, get stuck in it and everything like that. What a bunch of assholes those guys are. Oh well, but that's the joys of living in WHO-ville. They hate me. But look at the flags. Oh, we're getting smoked and snowed here. Well, let's go walk the dogs, drink some beer, and make a video. Talk to you later.